This garage door opens hydraulically and has plenty of space in there for all the cruising gear. Portside steps, again very easy to traverse with the mooring capstan and fair lead. Okay, the cockpit of THEA. We have loose furniture here, a nice space with a dining, wet bar, fridge to starboard, steps to the upper deck and that sliding hatch, and twin opening doors to the salon. We'll take a look up the side deck here. Very easy passage, feels protected, no steps, and just a gentle rise to the bow. It's a very easy boat to walk around. It certainly feels larger than her 28-meter length. Okay, from the starboard forward side access door, we come to the side deck again with wooden cap rail, new teak, grey caulking, shore power inlet. And as we move forward here, we have large storage lockers, port and starboard, a removable table, and a moulded U-shaped seating area. Mooring bits, 2 Muir 4500 anchor windlasses. This is the skylight to the forward cabin. The teak seat forward, and as we turn around we can see the bow area of the boat up to the Portuguese bridge, the 3 windows to the utility space and the galley, and down. Okay, we're looking aft from the dining area, and we go through this oval shaped bulkhead, which is a nice feature of the yacht. And as we walk in, you can see sofas and armchair to port and starboard, with some good space, feature table, and this is mirrored on the port side. Again, these louver covers that have mosquito screens as well, so they can all be removed if necessary, but they do a good job of keeping the heat down in the saloon. Now, aft starboard of the saloon is a working desk with a chair, and then we have these the double doors which open up onto the aft deck. And on the port side we have the companionway to the master cabin, which is very nicely lit and a good size. Entrance to the companionway with a handheld all the way down, feature banister with indirect lighting, and some marble on the steps. Down, and then we enter this small lobby area which has a marble floor and a frosted glass window which goes to the master bathroom. So obviously a closing door here to the master, so it gives it a nice lobby feel. Over here you can access some storage, quite deep storage under the stairs here, and there's a safe and just basic storage. Okay, walking from the master lobby to the master cabin. Wooden floors, carpet, and a large king-size bed, which is nice and low, and it also has a pop-up TV in the base of the bed. Portholes port and starboard, giving plenty of light. You can see this is a low bed, which adds to the height, plus this tie silk finishing on the bulkhead. These windows, one can open by the look, haven't seen those open. And then we have a nice table, long table, worktop bench. This is leather inlay with a shelving, bookshelves above the table, with a chair, and then hanging lockers on the port side. Head height here probably around 6 feet. There is also some deck lights to the cockpit for additional natural light. And into the master head. So we have a very big shower, marble floor, nice mosaic, so it looks nice and modern. And we have varnished deck heads and the head there, with plenty of space around it. And you see the mosaic. Back into the master cabin. Okay, this is the dining room of THEA. So we're walking from the salon going forward. So to the port side, you can see there's a side entrance door, and we have these louver covers on the windows. They are removable. There's a servery cupboard here to port, with drawers and a large table. It's all covered up at the moment because there's still a little bit of work going on the boat, but you can also see a nice ceiling panels with little LED spots, which is very nice. To starboard we have some cupboards here, so we have a drinks fridge, starboard side. Side access door to starboard, and this is the stairway up to the upper deck and the bridge. So it's a very nice open area, separate from the salon. This table can extend, and a nice carpet down on the floors. These are some of the exterior cushions, which are just stored in here at the moment. And then we have the opening servery hatch to the galley, which we'll go through to in a moment. So on to starboard again, we see the companionway to the two forward guest cabins. Also a nicely concealed day head on the main deck, with electric head and some nice mosaic detailing. So you hardly know that day head was there, really. Move forward from the dining area and through this closing door to the galley and utility space. We have some tools just covered up here, apologies for that. Another side opening door, so lots of access out to the side deck. We have a Fisher Paykel washing machine and a dryer. All under here in this sort of metallic painted area there's a lot of space under there for all sorts of stuff. Try and lift it up. There we go. So first we've got a deep freeze on the inboard side, good size, domestic deep freeze, and then a lot of storage space here, which actually goes quite far forward. So that's a cleaning gear and whatever needs to be stowed away. Close that down again. This is a roller door. This actually goes down to 2 further cabins, which we'll call the crew cabins. And we'll go down there in a moment. But you can see there's a lot of space. So you've got these 3 windows facing forward, giving great light to this galley. Have a look at this second storage unit. So there's more refrigeration in here. Can't lift that up with one hand, so I'll do that in a moment. And then into the galley, big windows, sliding opening windows, Corian top, and there is a dishwasher and a double sink. Lots of space in here, lots of drawers, a good range, gas range, microwave, spice racks, quite a big commercial stainless steel extractor, more drawers, and this is a fridge, very good size fridge unit in the top there. And a freezer, and a pan drawer at the bottom. So this can be closed off. I think this comes into the middle. Okay. So it can be closed off to isolate the galley. And it's nice and bright, very good head height. This is the dumb waiter, which comes down, sorry, this one. That one comes down and goes straight up to the helm. Another view of the galley, looking forward. Lots of counter space, lots of space to move around, and separate from the guest area if necessary. Okay, forward from the utility space and the galley, a central companionway goes down to 2 further cabins. This companionway can be closed off with a sliding hatch, and we have granite steps heading down. We'll go into the forward cabin first. Very good headroom in this cabin, probably 6.5 feet, if not more. We're in the bow, and we find the double bed with a glass hatch above it to the bow area, the foredeck. Hatches are, portholes are on port and starboard. Right now they have the covers on. We can see we've got Alcantara roof covering and some drawer space to port side with a flat screen TV and the aircon control. As we come back, also on the port side, we find this up and over single bunk cabin, also for crew, with the porthole and the louver blinds, TV, aircon, Alcantara, suede, deck head panels, 2 drawers below the bunk there, and that bunk. So 2 single bunks in this cabin, and these 2 cabins share a head on the starboard side. I'll just pop that down. So we have the electric head, marble floor, mosaic, and this also is a shower. So it's a wet head with the drain aft. So this could potentially be a guest cabin if that was how somebody wanted to use the boat. However, I think this is perfectly comfortable for crew and in the right position, as they can easily access the galley and the side deck and the saloon. Of note is this floor hatch, which I will open up to show you the storage below the floor. Okay, we've opened the hatch that's at the base of the companionway steps for the crew area, and we can very easily come down into this space, and you can see there's excellent storage built in for all cruising gear, spare parts, whatever somebody would like to use it for. So there's a lot of space there, it's cleverly thought out, and we can go quite a way back. We can see some of the spares stored there, nicely organised in labelled, itemised boxes. As we turn around, this is the access back up into the crew area. Okay, so in the utility space we have the electrical panel. You can see it's very well laid out, easy to understand. The whole boat's been rewired, currently on shore power. We see genset controls, hydraulic controls, generator, inverter and general breakers for 220. The DC panel is just behind it, clearly labelled, and we have a remote battery monitor, a water tank monitor and digital multi-control just above. So these are behind closed wooden doors, making that whole area neat and tidy. Okay, on the starboard side, just after the day head, we have another companionway going down to the first forward 2 guest cabins, also with a handrail and direct lighting. A tighter radius than the aft companionway, but still comfortable. And we arrive and then a thwart ship's corridor, and we'll go into the forward port guest cabin. And this cabin has an athwart ship's bed, again with the tie silk bed head. So a great view out of the whole windows. Louver ports can be removed. TV, lockers either side of the bed. And into the ensuite bathroom. This has frosted glass and a glass partition for the shower with a head and marble floors. What's nice about this boat is that each of the cabins are different but styled in a similar manner. The timber work is excellent, it's all been refurbished. and varnished, and is in a very nice condition. So we're coming out of the port guest cabin into the athwartships corridor, and we have a further cabin to starboard. This is an elongated cabin with a 3/4 berth to starboard and a long sofa inboard, which can also convert to an additional berth if required. We have a working table to starboard, hull windows. It's a good sized cabin with its ensuite head, again very nicely finished. We have a ripple effect on the tiles for the shower stall, marble floor, and the head just behind the door. Come out into the corridor. That panel that we just saw in the port cabin there is for these overhead LED strip lights. So starboard cabin and the port cabin. Okay, one more just showing the companionway back up to the dining room. And as we arrive, we see this lattice work partition for the dining room, and here we are. Okay, starboard side of the dining area, we find the companionway up to the bridge. And here we are on the bridge of THEA. Again, very spacious with a nice L-shaped sofa and a fixed table with these helm chair and co-pilot chair, which can be swiveled around to face the table as they are now for dining, and obviously turned around for navigation. The dumbwaiter exits here on the bridge. It's very convenient for serving to the bridge. And we have a spokeless helm with Raymarine electronics, navigation light panel, and the throttle controls, bow stern thruster control, and also Raymarine tiller pilot, which is replicated on the Portuguese bridge at the front. This companionway can be closed off if we need separation, plus there are opening doors to the Portuguese bridge, port and starboard. As we walk aft from the bridge, we enter what is either the captain's cabin or an upper deck guest cabin. This is particularly nice in my opinion, as we have 180-degree views and access to a private deck. Hanging locker to port, plus a working table. Sliding doors aft. There's a TV on a swing bracket, and the bed itself. Again, nicely finished with a tie silk headboard. There is a window above the headboard, and this goes to the master or upper cabin bathroom, which is also delightful with a big porthole and marble floors and tops, large head and a shower with a glass partition and a shower with a view. Again, the upper deck cabin with that window that looks into the cabin itself and gives a very nice open feel. We walk out of the bathroom into the hanging lockers and out onto the private aft deck for this cabin, where we find L-shaped moulded seating, port and starboard, with a central table that can be lowered or raised, turned into a sunbed. Obviously exterior cushions exist. They're down in the dining room at the moment, but not in place at this today. A solid Bimini frame that extends all the way to cover this seating area. Also has integrated LED spotlights, and the canvas top is brand new, having just been replaced in the last couple of weeks. Moving further aft, we get to the tender cradle. The tender can also be carried on the platform aft, and the cradle itself actually makes up 3 teak seats which can be forward or aft facing. We have a sliding cover here to the companionway for steps down to the cockpit, and then the davit cranes, port and starboard. These are original, been completely refurbished, and this is a fantastic deck, making the most of the space available. Moving from the upper deck aft, we can walk out to the side deck, port and starboard, and round to the Portuguese bridge. Sliding door to the pilot house. Nice varnished cap rail and a ladder up to access the radar mast and the electronics on the hardtop. Again, a very good space here, fantastic viewpoint, and the boat can be driven from here. So on the Portuguese bridge we find essential controls, anchor controls, tiller rudder control, engine controls, bow stern thruster, engine start stop, and a Raymarine chart plotter. This is a particularly nice place to drive the boat from. So from the Portuguese bridge, moving starboard, we walk around, again very safe and secure. We can walk all the way down the starboard side of the boat very easily to the aft deck. So a nice easy boat to walk around, and this would be a particularly nice spot underway. Just a note there, we can see the bottom of the tender sitting on that cradle, which is actually made up of 3 stainless steel and wooden chocks which are actually seats for when the tender is not there. And as we walk up the starboard deck, we come to the engine room access, starboard side midships, on a pantograph door, and this leads to the engine room entrance with manual fuel valve shut-offs above the door and an easy stairway down to the engine room. Okay, we're accessing the engine room now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps into the engine room. The engine room on THEA is very nicely laid out. A lot of work has been done in here. Very good 6-foot head height or close to it. We can see a Northern Lights generator on the port side and another on starboard. These are all our water pump and valves. THEA has several different methods of filling water, also water capture from the deck. But this is beautifully engineered, very clean, everything labelled, new hoses. You can see the fuel manifold on the forward bulkhead with the fuel filters and a fuel polishing system. And very nicely we have a small wash bench to keep things clean, which we like. White painted checker plate floors, Caterpillar engines with exhaust, engine room camera above. There we can see the main seawater filters, engine water inlet, granny bars on the side of the engines. A lot of space, very light, large ventilation fans on the deck head, manual sight gauges for the fuel tank. We have one panel just missing here at the moment, they're just doing a little bit of work. The fire system, sea fire, and lots of space between the engines. So we see the power takeoff hydraulic pump on both port and starboard engine. These pumps operate bow and stern thruster, as well as the rear garage door, hydraulic swing platform, and both tender crane davits. Water manifold, seawater manifold, starboard main, starboard genset, aircon, water maker, aircon, priming line, port generator, port main, with a 12-24 panel, battery isolators, and engine room fan selectors and breakers above. There's a tachometer mounted on each engine, granny bars for safety, and this is the Glendenning control for the shore power retrieval. On the starboard side we see the second generator, also Northern Lights, as well as some storage for tools, small workbench, another sight gauge, exhaust aft. This is the starboard engine power takeoff. Everything's open, accessible, serviceable. We have an oil reservoir for the hydraulics here, and there are actually 2 more ventilations, so we've got a total of 4 forced air ventilator fans. This is the hydraulic pack for the Naiad stabilizers. So a delightful engine room, and anybody will be very happy to work in here. Everything is accessible, clearly marked and fully serviced.